For our next question, we'll begin with Ms. Oyonarte. Is there enough opportunities for students in Alachua County who do not plan to attend college?
No, absolutely not. We need to really look at and increase our VOC educational programs. We have a plethora of opportunities out there with the business community that want to join with the school system. If we can keep a child in from pre-K to 12th grade, that's great. But we in the workforce get them for life. And it is a proven fact, the lower your education level, the lower your wages, and in this economic times, you're very high chances of being unemployed. And everybody listens to me, we go to the same forums. I have a tile contractor, he is an artist in his field. The home industry it's basically come to a stop. My tile contractor is employed 6 to 8 months out. People are staying in their homes, they're remodeling. But this guy is an artist. He is employed. I don't know of one electrician or one plumber that's making less than $150 an hour for a house call. If we can get them into these programs, if they're not going to college, and the college-bound students are going, but the other students have got to be able to earn a livable wage. And we have the resources in our community with that. With the Charles and Nancy Perry program at Santa Fe, we have unbelievable opportunities. We have to give them direction, and we need to capture them young, 9th grade minimum.
Thank you, Ms. Oyonarte. Mr. Smiley, your answer?
The problem with many schools is that K-12 is supposed to be about developing abilities. It's supposed to be about giving students intellectual empowerment to approach whatever job that they may have after high school. And we really lose sight of that because often our tests and our teaching methods reflect an overall overwhelming exercise in memorization. We don't need to be shoving knowledge down the throats of students, but developing them as thinkers, because that's what's going to help them in the future. That's what's going to help them in college when they go into specific disciplines. So, like I said before, my goal is to bring in the best sorts of materials that will do this. Another way to help out with students in the future is to provide them with the best sorts of programs. You know, we always talk about vocational programs, but until we set up the foundation of giving the students the correct ability base and knowledge base from K through middle school, we can't just force upon them vocational schools because they're not prepared. They're not prepared to handle that.
Thank you, Mr. Smiley. Ms. Vinson?
Yes, can you ask that question one more time, please?
Sure. Is there enough opportunity for students in Alachua County who do not plan to attend college?
I believe they are, but the problem is awareness. A lot of kids are not aware that there's VOTEC programs to assist them, get them a marketable skill, and make them ready for work. Right now, I think that's the problem with the dropout rate. They feel like, well, hey, I didn't pass the FCAT, so, well, let me just drop out. We need to show them that there's other ways to be successful too, VOTEC. Matter of fact, I had a student told me that they attend VOTEC in Georgia, and he got a job with the Kia plant in LaDraine, Georgia, making $20 an hour. See, we need to encourage our kids that there are other ways and other means in order to be successful. College is not the only way. It's a good way, but we have programs that be successful as well. It's like I said before, I'm the 10th of 11 children. 10 of us attended college, and one of my brother, he got his trade in VOTEC and in plastering, and very successful. Matter of fact, he made more money than me. And you know, so they can do it, and we just need to encourage them, put them in the right direction, mentor them right, and say that, yes, you are special, you're somebody, and you will be somebody. We just introduce them to other programs, especially VOTEC. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vinson. Ms. Deachin?
I think there's opportunity for all students out there that are not college bound. I just think that the communication, the lack of it, and informing people that there are certain vocational programs out there. There's Job Corps, for instance. There's the Alachua County One-Stop Center. They actually will teach you if you have to go on a job interview and they have a requirement such as Word or the Excel spreadsheet. They'll give you on-job training so you can pass that test and you can apply for that job. And with the Job Corps, you actually have electrician, you have a plumber, you have CNA, you have phlebotomy, you have EKG, you have a various variety of classes that you can take that are not college bound. Now, some of these students are actually sent there because they have to, because of the law, because they've gotten in trouble. And with this is another form of a program to where they don't drop out. They offer high school, they offer GED, and they offer you a trade if you are not college bound. Some of these students go there on their own because they want to have a skill in life so they can actually put themselves through college.
Thank you, Ms. Deachin. We're going to have one final question. We're going to squeeze in one from the audience. For this question, we'll begin with Mr. Smiley, and it's a long question. Many agree that mentoring, enrichment activities, and parent involvement will benefit the students of the county. The Alachua County ACT SO program provides all of these components. How do you plan to reach out to community programs such as this?
Well, it's true. We have a lot of community programs. We have a lot of great organizations. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club, Alachua County. It's just about getting our students into these and getting these programs to our schools. You know, one problem is we don't see an active board. If you ever go to board meetings, there's no real discussion. Nobody really even goes to the board meetings. So we need board members that are going to be active. They're going to bring these programs to the public. They're going to get students involved in these mentoring programs. And that's my, I hope that you can tell that I'm one of those people that's going to do that from what I've said here tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Smiley. Ms. Vincent?
Yes, it's important to involve our community in everything, especially when raising our kids. Again, they always say it's take a village to raise a child. It was the community that raised me and made me what I am today. And that's willing, we're able to serve and wanted to serve and keep our kids from getting in trouble and give them a bright future and be successful. Now, you have the Boys and Girls Club. You got other clubs that don't mind taking in kids, mentoring them, tutoring them, and helping out, especially when you have single parents or parents working every day. So that's a plus. Also, we need to reach out to other community organizations. You have the religious-based, the faith-based programs that also could pitch in and help out too. You know, we are a community of caring. This is Alachua County. We got so many resources here, and this is time for us to tap in them and just do what's right, and that's to improve the quality of life for our kids in education. Thank you.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Many agree that mentoring, enrichment activities, and parent involvement will benefit the students of Alachua County. The Alachua County ACT SO program provides all of these components. How do you plan to reach out to community programs such as this?
Well, in the day of technology, email seems to be the best way to communicate with anybody. But some people don't have email. Some of them are not privy to having the monies to get a computer. So when you're actually trying to reach out to your community and you want parent involvement when it comes to their children and their education, putting a piece of paper in their book bag is not very sufficient. Sometimes you actually need to go out there and talk to your parents. Maybe you need to go door to door. Maybe you need to have it to where there's an open house more than just the first day of school. You need to reach out. Mentoring is huge. You don't actually have to be in a program to mentor. You just have to be there. Sometimes it's about listening to a child, seeing what they need, and trying to help them get what they need.
Thank you, Ms. Deachin. Ms. Oyanarti?
I've been a mentor in elementary and middle school and high school for close to 40 years. I have seen programs work at J.J. Finley. A phenomenal guidance counselor and two parents took an unbelievable program and took it to a church down the street, and every child in the Fifth Avenue district was offered free tutoring every day. I've seen that work in many schools. I've been a junior achievement instructor, and what we need to convey to these students and to their parents is you're only here for a short time. Grasp the brass ring while you can, because you're going to need it for life. They don't realize the clock is ticking. But we have to make the schools approachable for parents. A lot of parents didn't have success themselves, so they don't have that warm, cozy feeling to come to school and get involved. So once again, we have to take it to them. Also, that I have seen that work as a board member of the Girls Club. Boys and Girls Club have done this for years. Also, the churches, I see it work. I'm a founding member of part of the Reichert House. I saw how then Captain Tony Jones took it to the neighborhood. With the Volunteer Center, we took it to the neighborhood. With Paint Your Heart Out Gainesville, all the different programs with the corporate world, we teamed together. We went into the neighborhoods. It will work, but it does take a village. It takes a whole community. We only have these children for a short time.
Thank you, Ms. Oyenarte. Now we'll move on to our closing statements. You'll each have 1 minute, and we'll begin with Ms. Benson.
First of all, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come here today and present. Again, I am willing and able to serve. My investment here in Alachua County, I am in an organization for over 33 years, and that is Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. It was founded on Christian principle and public service work. I believe in giving back to the community. Matter of fact, I heard something this weekend, and it stayed with me, and I want to share it with you. The treasure of life is not death, but what we let die inside us while we live. We must make public education a priority. We need to select board members that will do the job for the right reasons. I'm a different component. I bring law and order into the education as being a correction probation specialist. I've seen where kids come to me because of dropout and need someone to inspire to mentor them. I can mentor them. I've been doing it for years for troubled juveniles, and I'll do it the same. I believe in working the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Benson. Ms. Deachin, your closing remarks?
I don't know how many of you read the Gainesville Sun, but I found it kind of interesting on Friday's article. When in our Alachua County public school system, there's 24 schools that are allowing 7,000 students of the No Child Left Behind to transfer. That should get you to transfer, not to stay at their schools. 10,000 students in Title I schools, 4,960 transfer or tutored. 2,388 can additionally transfer. There's your accountability, there's your transparency, there's your budgeting, there's your community involvement, there's your dropout rates. How are your children being educated? What do you want from your children? What do you expect from school board members, and how do you want them to implement it? It's all of your input. This is your community. How do you want your children to learn?
Thank you, Ms. Deachin. Ms. Oyenarte, your closing remarks?
Like I said in the beginning, I'm a lifelong resident of Gainesville. A community is only as strong as its schools. The 10 top school communities in the United States have the strongest schools. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, they fund their children. Now, Michigan is almost at the point of a full-blown depression. We're in a recession. They're almost a full-blown depression. They fund their students $17,800 per student. They have chosen to support their schools and their children. We have to take responsibility and ownership in our schools. Accountability, common sense, and communication. These are issues that they're just a passion with me. They tie together. If you communicate with the parents, you communicate with the schools, you communicate with the teachers, we can have success. But the bottom line is accountability. I'm born and raised here. I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you, Ms. Oyenarte. Mr. Smiley, your closing remarks?
I've left out many things. Let me go over a few of them. As far as our use of funding, here's one instance where we're poor. It was brought to the board to approve more free breakfast for our students, but I think before we approve a $20,000 budget for that, we need to be focusing on the quality of our foods. Another thing, our board passed an irrational policy for school uniforms. It was based on misconceptions. Uniforms have been shown through proven research they don't improve performance or behavior, but regardless of that, here's why we should be concerned. It was stated in the policy that those with a financial hardship would be given financial assistance. However, there is no defined criteria or guideline as to who would qualify. So what we're going to have coming from the school year is either a huge financial burden upon our schools to supply these students with uniforms, or we're going to have a lawsuit because of discrimination if some students are not approved while others are. That's one issue. So the reason why you should support me, I've worked at the state level, I've worked with local districts. I'm here running for the school board because I know that you need a high position to get true reform going.
Thank you, Mr. Smiley. This concludes our forum for Alachua County School Board District 5. I'd like to thank the candidates for participating today.